Okay, good evening and welcome to episode 43 of our meditation session. As always, we will start with gratitude attitude. So, if you would please gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, relax yourself. Take another deep breath. As you breathe out, relax all your muscles. Take one more deep breath. This time, completely let yourself go. Now, think of one thing which you are thankful for that happened in the past week. Once you have identified that, think about why you are thankful. And now, let's set it free. If you are by yourself, say it out loud what you are thankful for and why. If you are with someone, tell it to each other. Okay. So today we'll wrap up our discussion on the six perfections. The last perfection we are looking at is discernment, also known as judgment. It's our ability to judge what is real and what is not. Have you noticed that some people have really good judgment and some people always make mistakes no matter what they do? That's all because of their perspective. Their ability to judge depends on their perspective. So let's look at that judgment today. There are three fundamental aspects of discernment. One, we must accept conventional reality. Two, we must accept ultimate reality. And three, we must recognize non-duality. And we'll talk about each one so that it's clear what that means. So first we'll look at conventional reality. It's day-to-day reality. It's completely an internal mental representation, meaning it all playing out in our mind. For example, when we see something, actually our eyes see the image, right? We studied this in biology and physics. That image is then inverted in the retina, and then our mind actually interprets that image. That's true for all our senses, right? Whether it's touch, smell, hearing, whatever the case may be. So it's our mind that actually is interpreting all our senses. And we know that human senses are very limited. For example, the human eye can only see about 1% of the light spectrum. We can't see ultraviolet rays. So what we see is limited. Similarly, we cannot hear all the frequencies of the sound, right? Our dog can hear a lot more than we can. On top of that, we are bound by emotional distortion that limits our ability to perceive. What does that mean? So let's say we are afraid, right? When we are afraid, we see things that are not there. And when we are distracted, we don't see things that are there, right? That's why in court, they say that the eyewitness are notoriously unreliable. Conventional reality also depends on cultural agreements. We all agree on a set of rules that allows us to accept certain things as long as perception meets that function. We call it a pair of scissors because it cuts things, right? Part of conventional reality is to recognize that every cause produces a similar effect in nature. The second assumption is that all effects have multiple causes and conditions. So there is never a one-on-one relationship. There are multiple causes and conditions that have to come in place to manifest a particular effect. I'll give you an example. When you buy a seed, right? Just buying a seed does not create effect of, growing a plant. We need to plant that seed. Then we need to fertilize the soil. It needs rain or watering, sunlight, and so on, right? So all of these causes and conditions must come into play for that seed to become a plant. Just because you sow a seed doesn't mean the plant will come out. So that's conventional reality. The ultimate reality is just like it says, the real truth. We don't have direct access to ultimate reality, but there are principles that we can understand. One of that principle is that there are no inherent characteristics, and this is very important. We often are mistaken about this one. Example is that what's beautiful to one person would be different to someone else. As they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What one person finds attractive, another person finds repulsive. I love pizza, right? I can't imagine why somebody would not like a pizza. But there are people who don't care for a pizza. I used to love ice cream. I still love ice cream. I don't eat it, and there are people who don't care for it, right? So the characteristics do not exist from its own side. Pizza by itself is not great, right? It depends on one's mind. That means that they are all imputed characteristics. For example, long. Someone says this is long, this is short, far, near, good, bad, large, small, right? All of these are subjective and imputed. We should also, however, apply a functionality test on it. For example, this is a very good example. We can say, okay, if it is subjective, then is killing bad or good? Because they are both imputed, right? But functionally, killing is bad because it's bad for the one who gets killed. So we should keep that in mind when we make judgment, right? The second part of ultimate reality is that interdependence of all beings and equality of all beings is a fact. What does that mean? It means that interdependence, we live in this interdependence world, and science tells us that, right? For example, without pollination, there is no agriculture. I don't know what's the status right now, but a couple of years ago, scientists were worried that the honeybees were, population was going down, and they were seriously concerned about it. So that is interdependence. Equality is also a fact. It's just not a slogan, right? Because each being feels that they are important, and that makes us equal, right? We all want to be happy. That makes us equal. And there's no question about that. So we looked at conventional reality, right? We looked at ultimate reality. Then what is non-duality? All it means that ultimate reality is the basis of conventional reality, meaning that the fundamentals of ultimate reality is what conventional reality is based on. So they're not two separate things. And that means it's non-duality. They're not different concepts. We must have a basis for everything. Without basis, we cannot even have distortion. Think about that. You cannot distort something if you have nothing to base on, right? All beings share the same essence. Science tells us that. We all have at our core same basic atomic structure. In the spiritual realm, we call it, that we all have same soul or same very subtle mind or whatever the case may be. So once you have these three basic components in mind, it becomes easy to discern, easy to judge. We accept what needs to be accepted, assume what needs to be assumed, and respect what needs to be respected. The combination of this wisdom is what gives us perception. And we discussed this in the past, that function of our mind is to perceive. Once we understand these basic principles, our perception becomes clear. Our judgment becomes clear. And we end up making better decisions. It's very good to promote good judgment in today's world, because people are susceptible to believe anything and everything without reason. People literally are so gullible, and they're in their short window, right? The people who listen to one set of TV networks versus another set of TV networks, that's all they do. They don't cross. And that's why, they know what they know, and that's about it. And it's okay. One can choose to believe what they want to believe, as long as they understand it's just a belief and not based on truth. And that's what we have missed in our society today, that what we believe becomes fact, right? We all have our own versions of truth. And that creates this friction in our society. So that's the lesson today. For our meditation, it's been a long time since we tried Savasana. So let's try again today. If you're able to, when we start, lie down on a flat surface, and then we'll place our hands on our side, palms up. We'll practice diaphragmatic breathing while we are engaged in the meditation. So that means we're going to do deep breaths. When we inhale, our tummy will go up. When we exhale, we try to touch our stomach to our spine, they say, right? So that means try to get every last breath out. And then we'll scan our entire body, one part at a time. This type of meditation brings our awareness of mind and body together. It allows us to focus on the sensation of our body parts. It has also some health benefits. including reduction in muscle tension, reduced blood pressure, decreased heart rate, and so forth. So, let's begin. If you are ready, please lie down on a flat surface. Give you a minute. Make sure your hands are on your side, palms are up. Gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, completely relax yourself. Bring your attention to the sensation of your breath. Feel the cool air as you breathe in. Feel slightly warmer air as you breathe out. Keep your focus on the sensation of your breath for about a minute or so on your own. Now, bring your attention at your feet. Bring your attention to your calf. Bring your attention to your knees. While you scan your body, if you come across any part of your body which has tension, just acknowledge it. Bring your attention to your thighs. Continue to take deep diaphragmatic breaths. As you breathe in, let your stomach rise. As you breathe out, touch your spine with your stomach. Bring your attention to your pelvis area. Bring your attention to your kidneys. Bring your attention to your lower back. Bring your focus to your spine. Focus on your navel area. Bring your focus at your lungs. Bring your attention to your to your heart. Bring your attention to your shoulders. Focus on your throat. Bring your focus to your face. Bring your attention to your eyes. Bring your attention to your forehead. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Okay. Any questions?
No, Nirobai, this was good.
Good.
Yeah, it was definitely. So the subject was pretty deep, needs a lot of thoughts.
It does. And I think, Sapan, if we start looking into this, right, it improves our perception.
I bet. Yeah.
And that will hopefully improve our decisions, right?
Yep. Yep. That's the outcome we want to.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I'll say something, Nirav.
sure, go ahead, Anka.
I think one thing you mentioned about the plant that you need water, fertilizer, sunlight,
Right.
but I'm sure that everything has to be in the right proportion
Exactly.
and at the right time.
Exactly.
Otherwise, that combination doesn't work.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And so, and that's the point about interdependence, right?
Yes.
And it's not, it's multiple uh, factors. There's no, one cause and one effect, right?
Yeah.
Multiple causes and conditions have to come into play for that to work. So
Or they are always there, but we never realize. Most of the time, we think that I'm in control of my life.
that's right. See, sooner we realize that that's an illusion, better off
Yes.
we are.
I think it's probably, I won't say truthfully, but probably most of the time we are not in control of our life. We are governed by many other factors, knowingly or unknowingly.
We never are. When I was young, I always thought, Uncle, that I'm going to, get this thing done on this time. And if it doesn't get it done, right, I'll get all wound up about things. And I realized it never happens on my timeline, right? My timeline is just to make me feel good, but there are a million other factors in play
Yes.
beyond my timeline. So, but sooner we realize, I think, less anxiety we'll have in life.
Yeah. Yeah. And other thing you were mentioning about the judgment that we make is mostly dependent on our own knowledge that we have and our own past experience.
Yep.
And that's how we see the world. And I can just give one example that I told it to Ankita also once,
Mhm.
that what you see in the life is something like a light falling on the crystal.
That's right.
And depending on the situation from where you are looking, you will see different color.
Exactly.
Same light, same
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Today you don't like it, tomorrow you will like it,
Yeah.
or you will hate it and you will love it. It's the
Yeah.
same situation, but it's a different perspective of your day or life at that moment.
Absolutely. You give somebody $10, right? And that $10 is his make or break meal for the day. He's happy. If he's, a billionaire, he laughs at you, right? So the same $10. So you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Where you stand in life, uh, has a huge, and it's all about experiences, right? What we have gone through is all
Yes.
we know. But hopefully we realize that our ability to perceive is limited based on experience, and we get out of that somehow and look at a bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
So good point.
Okay.
All right.